Hey everyone, welcome to another installment of Harry Potter Theory. Today we'll be discussing why the world of Muggles and the world of witches and wizards are kept separate from one another. As we discover throughout Harry's initial years within magical society, witches and wizards have gone to great lengths to hide their world from that of Muggles. From concealment charms that make the castle of Hogwarts School look like a dangerous ruin, to the secret brick-walled entrance to Diagon Alley, there are an incredible number of spells used to keep the wizarding world a secret from non-magical people. In fact, so well hidden is every bit of this world that when Harry Potter receives his letter of acceptance to Hogwarts, he is absolutely shocked to learn of the secret magical world that's existed alongside ordinary society for centuries. How could this be true? How is it that no one knew that witches, wizards, dragons, potions, and magic existed? What possible reason could there be to keep these two worlds apart, especially when magic has the potential to do so much good in the world? Well, as it turns out, Muggle society and the wizarding world haven't always been separate. For centuries, witches and wizards lived among Muggles, and would even use their abilities to help their non-magical friends and neighbours in need. Presumably, much of the magic that was performed during this time was done for medicinal needs, to help cure illness, prevent outbreaks of disease, or heal injuries. And while I'm sure dark magic existed and was wielded by some witches and wizards against Muggles, for the most part there was no ill will between these two communities. But then, in the late 1700s, witches and wizards went into hiding. Why? Because for the past couple of centuries, Muggles had begun to hunt down those with magical abilities, accusing them of worshipping the devil and participating in sinful activities, before ultimately putting them on trial and condemning many of them to death. The first witch hunts began in the early 1300s throughout various European communities, before spreading rampantly across the globe and culminating in the American town of Salem in the 1690s. Over the course of 400 years or so, it's estimated that about 110,000 people were tried for witchcraft, with somewhere between 40,000 and 60,000 people convicted and then executed for these crimes. This phenomenon was written about by Professor Albus Dumbledore in his notes on the tale The Wizard and the Hopping Pot from the Tales of Beedle the Bard. He wrote, "The persecution of witches and wizards was gathering pace all over Europe in the early 15th century. Many in the magical community felt, and with good reason, that offering to cast a spell on the Muggle next door's sickly pig was tantamount to volunteering to fetch the firewood for one's own funeral pyre. Let the Muggles manage without us," was the cry, as the wizards drew further and further apart from their non-magical brethren, culminating with the institution of the International Statute of Wizarding Secrecy in 1689, when wizardkind voluntarily went underground. With the International Statute of Wizarding Secrecy going into effect so close to the brutalities of the infamous Salem witch trials of 1692 and 1693, it makes complete sense that witches and wizards would go into hiding and prohibit magical society from sharing details of their world with Muggles. Witches and wizards were trying to protect themselves and their children, who, as Dumbledore also mentions in his notes on the Wizard and the Hopping Pot, were especially vulnerable to Muggle witch hunters due to their inability to control their own magic yet. Of course, over time, we know that certain Muggles were eventually trusted with the secrets of the wizarding world, with many men and women falling in love with, marrying, and having children with witches and wizards. It's important to note, however, that these types of relationships were historically prohibited in the United States, and could have led to the arrest of any witch or wizard who took up a relationship with a Muggle. The severity of this law, at least several centuries ago, does make some sense when you consider that the most infamous witch hunt took place on American soil. And so it would seem that the main reason for keeping Muggle society separate from the wizarding world was, and presumably still is, to protect witches and wizards from persecution. And with that, we've come to the end of today's video. What did you think? Do you agree? Is there any other reason that you believe why the two worlds are kept separate? Please share your thoughts in the comments below, and as always, if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like it and subscribe to the channel. Until next time, remember, it does not do to dwell on dreams and forget to live.